What's up, everyone? Welcome back. Thank you for stopping in. If you are new here, hit the subscribe button down below, ring the little bell. That will notify you of when I upload any new videos or go live. Before you head out, give the video a thumbs up. I greatly appreciate it. And if you have time, leave a comment down below. I love looking forward to interacting with everyone. So today I have a cool little video. It'll be a battle of the blades. I wanted to do something a little different for myself, but this is going to be a legitimate battle of the blades. So, blade shapes. But we're going to take each knife, they're going to battle each other in a variety of categories. And then at the end of it, the deciding factor, if it comes to that, is going to be blade shape. So, Battle of the Blades, I figured we could start this one off with a Tanto and a true Warncliffe. So, I drew up a little chart here. We have the Battle of the Blades. This will be number one. I did do a video of basically a Warney battle early on. You can scope that out if I remember. Maybe I'll tag that video at the top up here. But this will be the first Battle of the Blades I've done here. We have price, OEM, acoustics, action, value, materials, ergos, carryability, and blade shape. So price, cost of the knife, OEM, who makes the knife for the designer, acoustics, basically the sounds opening and closing it, uh, action speaks for itself, the way it opens and closes, is it smooth, etc. Value, basically the knife costs this much, how much is it worth after we buy it, basically. Materials, what does each knife consist of? Ergos, how does it hold in the hand and whatnot, how does it feel? And then carryability, does it carry well, how does it feel in the pocket, etc. And then we have blade shape to finish off the tiebreaker if there is one. So as you could see there, we have the Chaves 229 Sangre, which is Chaves full-size Warncliffe thumb stud version. This one is in full titanium, a very heavy-duty knife. I love this knife. This is definitely something that's capable of being a workhorse for you if you needed one. So that is the Chaves 229 Sangre. And then facing off is the Vero Impulse Mini. Now this is a Tanto blade shape uh, designed by Joseph Vero. This also is, so far, has been a great work knife. I have taken it quite a bit and put it through quite a bit of work, and it has shined. It's done very well for something that's so uh, cosmetically pretty looking. That just goes to show you a knife can look awesome and still function the way a knife should. So we will start off with our first category, which is price. The Impulse Mini is coming in at $340 for the base version, which I think as far as the Impulse Mini, I guess they can go up to like 375, 385 for depending on what kind of blade, if it's belt satin, hand satin, black wash, DLC coated, what kind of handles. So basically, we're looking at 340 to 375, 385. We'll call it 385. And then the Chaves 229 Sangre is coming in at 375 for the all tie version. And then the G10 versions kind of vary. They can be like right around the 350 mark, 340. So it's going to be very, very similar between the two. Um, which is when I was thinking about doing this, I was trying to get knives that would be very similar in at least their cost and whatnot. And I kind of just went off the top of my head and picked these two to start. So this is going to be a tough uh, choice here as far as the price category goes. Got my Pilot G2. Yeah, look at that. Thing's nice. Got the copper uh, flower strokes through it. Hell yeah. FRN. Rubber. Very nice. Deep carry pocket clip. Very clicky. Probably like $2, I think. But to get back into it, I'm gonna have to go with the Chavez based off of what you're getting here, where it comes from, who it comes from. Ramon Chaves is the designer here, Joseph Vero here. Chavez has just been around. They both are awesome designers. Um, Chavez is a knife maker also, so he does have his custom variants of various knives. But because of who makes this and who designs it, the price is very good. So we'll give one to the Chavez and a 0 to the Vero. So the Chavez is up 1-0. Next up, we have OEM. So this is something else that plays a big role. The OEM for the Vero is Best Tech, which Best Tech has been over the last year and a half or so. They have been just putting out amazing quality. I've gotten several Best Techs this year over the last year and a half, and every single one of even their budget end, like their under $100 knives, were really well done. So Best Tech has really stepped it up over the last year or so. Now the Chavez is OEM'd by Riot, which Riot is in the production knife world as far as foreign knives in the production world. Riot is number one. They are the top. They consistently use the best materials. They have the best quality typically. Now, with all that being said, Best Tech and QSP are literally right on their heels. If Riot is at a 99, QSP and Best Tech are at a 97, 98. They're right there behind them. They're getting, I think, new designers coming into QSP and Best Tech, bringing their designs and what they expect from the design has really risen some of these OEMs to a lot higher quality than we were getting in the past. So it might, as of right now, I'm going to go with Chaves and Riot as far as the OEM goes. I think the better OEM here in this case, it's by a minimal, like a microscopic number. The Riot is just a smidge better. So we will go Riot 1.4, the Chaves, Best Tech, Vero gets a 0 there. Let me just mark down the price also here. So that's what we got so far. We got 2 to 0, 350 to 375, 340 to 375, 385. And then we got Riot and Best Tech 0 to 1 so 2 0. Now, next up, we have acoustics. Typical frame lock. Boy, that detent and I would say I'm going to have to go with the Vero Impulse Mini on acoustics. Boy, that close and then that snap open. Got a nice strong close and it sounds good. Yeah, very good. We will go with the Vero on that guy there. So acoustics, 0 on the Chaves, 1 on the Vero. We have 2-1. Next up is action. So for the Chaves here, it is dual thumb studs. That is the only means of deployment here. And the thumb studs are made well. They can, if you flick it enough, they can start to dig at your fingers a little bit. They're nice and rounded. I don't know quite. I think it's that very top portion. You see that little ridge? I don't know why they don't bring that coning all the way up. Because that is what it is. I never really looked at it because it doesn't bother me to the point where I can't keep doing it is what I'm getting at. But the action on the Chaves is very hydraulic, very smooth, very, very well done. Very hydraulic. The open is nice. pounds out of there. Very nice. The only thing is, occasionally, and you've seen it happen already, is if your thumb is not far enough down, you will lock yourself out because of how, and all the Chavezes are like this. The detent is very late. And he does that, I think, because of the blades being so heavy, being so sharp, that he doesn't want it just falling closed. But I think you could figure out a way to make it more like this the whole way down, just very hydraulic. Because if this had this all the way from here, this would be just amazing. Very smooth, very nice on the Chavez. Now, the Vero. Probably one of the original action kings. We are going to go with the Vero on this as well. The action is phenomenal. That flipper tab designed so well. Feels very good. It's a nice pull down, straight down. Very well done. Snaps out of there really well. And then on this side, you do have Vero's signature cutout on the blade, which makes for a very stout reverse flick. The detent on this is very strong. It's been a little while since I've carried this actually, and I forgot how strong it was. It's not. It's just strong enough that it's not too much. Very good. The action is impeccable on the Veros that I have had. So the Vero Impulse Mini will take action. So now, as of now, we are tied up 2-2. Here we have value coming up. So like I said, let's just say this retails for $375, and let's say this one retails for $370. Because I think that's where this one lies, somewhere right in that area. So let's just call it $375. If I were to go sell this knife right now, I think a lot of times they are out of stock. So I think basically market value, I think I could get it pretty much what I paid for this. You're not going to get, unless they haven't been around for a while, and they won't be for a little while. Now there was just a big flood of these. Everybody had them. They weren't around. They weren't around for months. And then all of a sudden, tons of them came into the market. So in normal times, Chavez can be very hard to get. Now the Vero is pretty much the same way. Very hard to get your hands on once they drop. Typically 90% of them, they're gone instantly. Now he's been making more on the drops, so they are hanging around a little longer. But at $375, I don't think I'm going to get quite that much. I think it's going to be a little less because there's runs that are in the works, and they will be coming. Now, somebody who needs one has to have it. I think you're going to get like $350 probably out of it. The Chavez, I think you're going to get pretty much what you paid for it. So in that case, the value is going to go to the Chaves. and I just wanted to give a quick shout out to Issuing Stitches. This is one of the first tanks I ever got, and it was from Issuing Stitches. This is the one that I clean all my knives off during recording. It's what I clean my lens off with. Like, this is the clean microfiber, you know, just for clean wiping. But Issuing Stitches on Etsy, I will leave a link down below in the description for his Etsy store. He makes awesome stuff. He is a Pennsylvania native, so awesome to support a guy like that. Next up, we have materials. So we're basically gonna be running head to head here. We have M390 on the blade steel for the Chaves, M390 on the blade steel for the Vero. We have titanium handle scales on both sides. Very well done on both accounts. Titanium pocket clip, and I believe that's a steel pocket clip. So I'm going to, based off that alone, and got to love the doggo. So materials. So based off of the materials used, and the clip basically throwing it over the edge. As far as materials, you get this really cool titanium pocket clip. I will give the edge to the Chaves just by the slightest margin, so that will be 4-2 to the Chaves. Next up, we have ergos. They're both very comfortable in the hand. The Chaves is a little thicker in the hand. The Vero is a little more contoured in your hand. The Vero has the ability to choke up because of the minimal flipper tab, so you can really get up on the blade, which comes in handy very often. Now, if you have bigger hands, you can pretty much do the same thing on the Chaves, but it's not going to be quite as comfortable. If you were just talking about standard grips, I would go with the Chaves, but because we're talking about all different ways of holding the knife, I will go with the Vero. It's just got very soft, you have this kind of sank in area here where your fingers really just, it's not designed for any sized hand, so it kind of doesn't really force you into that spot. You can be back here, you can climb up here, and it's comfortable. It makes it very user friendly in the hand. So we will go with the Vero on the ergos. So that leaves 4-3 on the score here. Next up, second to last, is carryability. So we have the skull clip. It is not deep carry. It's very close. You have that nice thick. This isn't going to get ripped out of your pocket. That's for sure. We'll slide it over the hank here. Now, that is what you will have sticking out of the pocket, roughly. You'll have this little bit here. It is a little tougher to get over. You hear that click, which is good. It still slides over thicker material well. and it's definitely not going to get ripped out. Now the Vero, it's not ultra deep either. About the same as the Chaves. You have this little bit poking out here, which makes it nice to grab a hold of. The Vero slides over top of seams better, and it also comes out easier, and it still gives you that nice sturdy feeling. When you pull it out of the pocket, you know it's held in there well. So we'll go with the Vero on the carryability. So I didn't actually plan on it like this. I didn't really have any idea going into it. But we do have the Chaves with 4, and we do have the Impulse with 4 going into the last category, which is going to be blade shape. Now, this is just all opinion based. You have the Warncliffe here with that really nice point. Alright, and we have the Tanto, a modified Tanto. It does have that second edge and that second point. So it is a Tanto. It has this nice swedge, if we can make it out there, right there, which aids in strength on that point there. Makes this second edge very durable. As I was thinking through this, the blade shape in the categories is also going to cover cutting. So it's going to be blade shape slash cutting. So we'll just do a little demonstration here with some very thin phone book paper. This is not easy to cut through. A lot of blades will have trouble with very thin paper. The Chaves is not one of those once you find your angle. Very sharp. Right from Riot or whatever, right from Riot's factory. Very, very sharp. Very well done. The Vero also comes very well done. Very good edge from Best Tech. Not my sharpest Best Tech knife, that's for sure. But it does do well. Now, the paper cutting test is really just showing how fine of an edge it really has. A good working edge doesn't always, cut paper. Now, this is going to be tough because I love Tantos and I love Warncliffes. Warncliffes are great for utility style cuts. They're great for getting in behind something and like a pull cut. Warncliffes are just awesome utility blades. It's basically shaped like a utility blade. So they work very well in a work related atmosphere. Now, a Tanto, on the other hand, is also very good for like a draw cut. You got that nice point to get into something and drag. Not quite as easy to get behind things, like if you got strapping or rope or belt strap, whatever that you got to get behind and cut. Naturally, the Warncliffe is going to do that better because of that very low tip. You get behind things a lot easier. You got this nice long edge here and this second edge. Now, if you want to talk strictly EDC, I would go with the Vero. because that's going to handle your day-to-day tasks no problem. If we're talking overall, though, EDC, work related, carry, everything type of carry, I'm going to go with the Wharncliffe. It's got that nice straight edge of blade here. You got that real nice point for piercing, drawing, draw cuts. Just very, very user friendly, very useful blade shape. I have become a huge, huge fan of Wharncliffe's and Sheep's Foot blades. If I would have done this battle a couple years ago, I more than likely would have given it to the Tanto. Uh, I love Tantos. I've always been a fan of them since I was a kid. Tantos and clip points were my favorite blade shapes. As time has went on, though, a nice Wharncliffe is basically my choice. Uh, Now, I love drop points, Tantos, all of them. But if you're asking me the best for everything, it's going to be the Wharncliffe. So, with that, the Chaves is your winner by a very slim margin, by 1 point. And like I said, I did not plan that out like that. I didn't plan on it tying. I just figured I knew some would go to Vero and I knew some would go to Chaves, but I didn't know which ones. I just kind of did it off the top of my head and went with what my gut was kind of telling me, and it ended up in a tie, with the tiebreaker being your blade shape and cutting. Let me know what you think down below. This went a lot longer than I planned on, but I never did one of these. And to go through all the categories and at least explain a little bit on each category, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 categories, but 2 knives. I'd say that's pretty good. Let me know what you think down below. What's your favorite blade shape? Which one are you more prone to gravitate towards? Do you have either of these or both and prefer one over the other? Leave it down in the comments. Let me know. Give the video a thumbs up on your way out. And if you're still here and you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button down below. Ring the little bell. I will catch you guys later. Have a safe night. See ya.